Hello and welcome to my ACS-12 crit build. As promised in the comments, I was gonna do a build video, and here we are. So we are rocking, of course, the ACS-12 as our primary weapon and damage dealer. As for the accessories, we are using the multi-use shotgun suppressor and the tactical laser sight. As for the magazine, this one is fixed and you actually can't change it, as you can see here. The ammo should ideally be disintegrating AP ammo, but of course tungsten ammo is fine because you can't really use that all the time because it's getting quite costly. As for our support weapon, we are using the DE Wildfire, and very important, with a vulnerability amplifier. It doesn't have to be a good one, it's just to add the vulnerability, the additional. It's really important. For our armor sets, we are rocking 4-piece of the Lone Wolf set, 1 Bastille, and of course the Fire Rune boots, which are really important because with these we get more particles and we increase our blaze damage, which is one of our main sources using the ACS-12. If you're not familiar with the weapon, how it works is you gather the particles, you reload, and that gives you Dragon Breath ammo, which increases your blaze damage and basically adds another multiplier to your damage sources, which is really important if you want to maximize out your damage. In terms of mods, we are running the Burning Wrath with elemental damage. It's the only elemental damage boost I'm having. I guess you could add the second one, and if you have it, you can also make it burn. I don't have it, so elemental it is. The rest of mine are violent, so they give a critical damage boost, and ideally you want to have there at least something like grade ones, or maybe weapon damage or status damage. Yeah, this one is really not ideal, but I didn't manage to get a better one. It's just the struggle of the mods that we are having, right, and having to use. So let's get further down on the helmet. We are having momentum up. Here you can see with the sweet weapon damage and crit damage, both on gold and actually lethal enemy damage. Ideally, it would have been grade ones. In case you're not familiar, grade ones are the bosses generally, like the silo bosses and the monolith bosses. But elite damage, of course, is nice as well. For the mask, we are running the Retrusion Explosion, also with the crit damage and, well, elite damage again. On the jacket, we are having the blue crit damage enhancement. If you don't know, there is no gold mod that gives you more damage. So the blue one is really your best option, also with crit damage and weapon damage. Status damage would work fine as well, and I'm pretty sure you can upgrade it to blue if you're lucky. But on the blue ones, you only have 1 upgrade, so you have to get it with 1 green and 1 blue already to make both blue. On the pants, then we're having a Deadshot, also with the crit damage, weapon damage, and elite damage. On the gloves, we are having the crit amplifier, the sweet great crit amplifier. It's just such a good mod. Also crit damage and weapon damage combined with the elite damage. I'm really having bad luck when it comes to grade 1 damage, but it is how it is. And here we are actually only having crit damage. Well, I guess normal and elite enemy damage. But that's what I have for my boots that cover advanced. Moving on to the Cradle. It's a pretty static sustained suppression for the burn damage, because with our normal ammo we also do the burn damage, right? So we're getting the buff from continuous damage here. Then heat agglutination, bro, what a difficult word. Again, burn damage enhancement, status enhancement. We are of course doing status damage with our fire weapon. Then the Deviation Master, while Deviation is present, we are getting additional 25% damage against grade ones, as you can read here, the bosses, which is really good. Then Lone Worker for that sweet healing if you're playing alone, which we usually do, doing solos. Then the weapon damage after reloading, which is kind of really hand in hand with the ACS-12 mechanic, that you have to reload your magazine when you have the particles to get the Dragon Breath ammunition. So really well for this one. Then of course we're using the shotgun, so we're taking anti-void, and the bounty hunter to get extra damage against marked enemies, which we are doing with our wildfire. As you saw, of course, in my speedrun videos, I am using the canine skull. I actually was pretty lucky to get a 5-4. The 5-1 skill rating is really important because this is what determines how high your weapon damage is. And it's pretty important that you only can use it against bosses that it actually can reach in damage, because this is when the weapon damage multiplier takes effect and we're getting the additional 43.2%, which of course is a massive amount of bonus damage. Then moving on to our foods. 1 second, let me get into the kitchen. We are, of course, want to be using either the cane spice rabbit dices or the hearty meat stew for the bonus blaze damage. This one obviously is a little bit better because here we have the condition with that the environment has to be 30 degrees or higher. We don't have it here. This one is scanned, so it doesn't spoil. Yeah, I would say just make this one when you need it, so you're good to go. And it's better to go for the burn damage than, for example, the flaming Ectard. This one just gives burn damage and the other one gives blaze damage. And the blaze damage is our more potent damage source, let's say like that. So yeah, that's the recommendation here.